Nick brings over 20 years' experience in the security and identity sector, with a number of roles from technical consultant to partner director. And his presentation is entitled Think Like an Attacker, the Importance of Attack Service Management in Cloud Security. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I look forward to hearing what you're going to say.
Is the mic working?
Yes.
I've got big shoes to fill, by the way. That was a very good presentation. I brought a Haribo, though, so where I lack in my presentation skills, you're all going to get some Haribo. Although I did actually think there was only 4 people and a dog going to attend. So there you go. Good afternoon. I'm from Yorkshire, so translation is via Google. Okay? Real time if you're that quick. And I'm going to talk a little bit, 15 minutes, hopefully, about thinking like an attacker, which actually leads on quite nicely from the last presentation to a degree. I'm going to talk a little bit about attack surface management and some statistics that Censys have around an internet search and an analysis paper that we released this week. So, everybody here heard of attack surface? Yeah, everybody's nodding their head. I nod their head and normally think, I don't know what clue what you're talking about. Yeah, this is a description of what NIST says an attack surface is. I'm not going to read off the slide. You can all read, hopefully. Yeah, and you can have the slides later if you want to do that. I think sometimes us IT professionals, shall I call myself that? Probably. We come out with all these acronyms and we don't actually tell people what they mean. Yeah, so I thought I'd just let everybody understand what we talk about when we talk about attack surface. Now, the next few slides are a question and answer. So I'm going to ask you a question. If you shout out an answer, please shout it out. Yeah. Anybody shouts out, get a pack of Haribo. I wasn't kidding. I've got a Tesco bag full of Haribo. Right? CVEs and advanced exploits represent just X of risk we observe on the internet. Anybody just shout out a number? Come on. 5. You can have a... Where's James? James, come and help, please. James had to go to Tesco, by the way. James, come and give these Haribo out. 5. Any more takers on 5? Anybody else? Come on, let's have a bit higher. 10? 15. Somewhere in between. 12%. To be honest, James, there's enough Haribo. Give them to everybody. You could walk around, James, by the way. Yeah. 12%. Which is actually quite interesting, right? CVEs are critical vulnerability exposures. So when you think about it, only 12% of those that we see are observed as CVEs or advanced exploits. I'm going to go into some more numbers in a second. Misconfiguration and exposures represent X of the risks. Come on, more numbers. 80. Okay, my age. Anybody guess my age? Wow, 40. Give him a Haribo. Man alive, I'm from Yorkshire. I'm in my 50s. Anybody? 55? 50. We're going up, we're going up. We're never going to get there. It's 88%. There was 12 before there, right? We could do the math, right? Okay. 88% of misconfiguration and exposures represent. That's interesting because misconfiguration is actually somebody not configuring it correct, right? Or misconfiguring, as in not doing it. So it is actually interesting. And that's 88% of all the vulnerability exposure that we see when we search the internet. We search the internet on a very regular basis. I can tell you all about that later on in life if you want to see that. Now, we all use Microsoft, Amazon, Google, whatever, right? And we all, and Oracle, God forbid. Anybody from Oracle here? Thank you. Right. And we all think that everything's in one of those big 4 platforms, right? So, what do you think the percentages of all services on the internet are in those platforms? 2? A little bit. 8? 8's not bad. We're getting there. It's less than 10, more than 8. It's 9%. Now, to be honest, when I saw this, and I only saw it the other day myself, I was actually quite taken back because I figured 9%, we all talk about AWS and Azure and all this kind of stuff, right? The actual bigger problem is that most of the services that we use are probably in one of those big 4. So if one goes down, it affects a lot of people, a lot of organisations. What we didn't actually realise is there is 91% of all the assets out there on the internet not in the big four, from the searches that we do of the whole internet, which is actually quite interesting for me. So we could go back and do all the numbers again. All of that is either interesting or not to you as individuals, as to organisations, but actually security starts with visibility. Attack surface management gives you your visibility of your organisation or somebody else's organisation, of how they look at or what they are seeing from an attacker's point of view. How do you look? If I'm an attacker, I've never been an attacker in this world, by the way, not this world. Yeah? If I'm an attacker and I want to look at you, what do you actually look like? Yeah? That's the bit that we show you as an organisation. I'm looking at time. Anybody know how long have we got? Still plenty of time. Now, Censys does two things. Censys scans the internet, and we scan the whole of the internet, and we scan it for many things, and it depends what we're scanning for, depends when we do it. We provide that scan, and it's all public information, we're not digging into people's private worlds, right? We provide that data for you to do something with. You can search it, you can manipulate it, you can do whatever you want to do with it via APIs or a search or whatever you want to do. And that's fantastic. That gives you the ability to either look at yourself or look at somebody else, how they actually are in the internet, right? The other part of what Censys does is attack surface management. So we take this information, this data that we have about you, and we ask you a ton of questions. We are one of our partners. We ask you a ton of questions, and we build an attack surface for you, for your organisation or any sub-organisations that you may have. What that gives you is the ability to see exactly what an attacker would see. Yeah? Now, there is a lot of data in the internet. When we scan the internet, it's terabytes of data that we provide. Clearly, that takes a lot of sifting through, yeah? And that's why we provide it in various ways. But if you are, and this attack surface stuff's is fairly new, right? We're fairly new as an organisation. Anybody who does this in real terms is relatively new, either through acquisitions of acquiring new companies or just startup companies. It's relatively new. But actually, when you think about it, it's really poignant in today's world, because we're all scared of being hacked. I'm scared of being hacked as an individual. My credit card was hacked last week. You're scared of being hacked as individuals. You're all scared of being hacked as organisations. And you may or may not be as buttoned up tight as you like, or think you are, but actually are you, yeah? Big thing that we see is EMEA. You acquire an organisation, what are you acquiring? Do you often dig into that organisation to find out how secure they are on the internet before you actually acquire them? Probably IT never even get told they're acquiring somebody till it's already done, right? So you're inheriting problems. An attack surface management platform, not just Censys, there's several platforms out there. A platform should actually give you a comprehensive visibility. Not about the things that you know, because you know about them. If we were just going to tell you what we already know, what's the point in spending money doing that, right? It should actually tell you about the vulnerabilities and comprehensive visibility about the things you don't actually know that you own, or you manage, or you should be managing. It should give you the ability to have actionable insight and investigation. So there should be data. When we provide the data, we provide historical data of years of historical data around your organisation, or more importantly, around that asset that's on the internet. What did it look like 6 months ago compared to what it looks like today? In 6 months' time, what does it look like compared to what it looked like in today's time? And it also should provide you the ability to have rapid response and remediation. We don't do remediation. We feed into systems that do remediation. We're very good at telling you what the problem is going to be. You make that assessment. Censys is not going to tell you out of 1 to 10 what that risk is, because a risk to me might be very different to a risk to you. That's your organisation to do that. But whatever that risk is, you should be able to rapidly respond to it. Make sense? I'm getting to time. You'll be pleased to know. Now, them numbers and all that kind of stuff were very kindly provided by our analytic department, who have done a report. I didn't put it all on. It's very interesting. I don't know. I read it last night going to bed. That probably tells you something. But it's an interesting report with lots of graphs in it. It is actually really interesting. It's a free report. Yeah? If you want to know about the state of the internet, please come and scan your QR code and have a look at this report. It is actually interesting and frightening and quite insightful all at the same time. Yeah? It's based on our data. There is an academic one that we are releasing to academia, obviously, yeah, but it's based on the data that we scan and we provide to our customers, to ourselves. It's actually quite interesting how frightening the internet actually can be. And I believe that's me. That's just a little thing that one of our customers said. I put the customer name on there, but I'm not allowed to, apparently. I was actually going to tell you, but I was told this morning I'm not allowed to do that. Any questions? James, have you given out all the Haribo? Well, get on with it then. James.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.